Initiative and referendum refers to state processes that allow citizens to collect signatures to place legislation on the ballot for voters to decide. These types of ballot measures are known as citizen initiative ballot measures. There are 26 states that provide for a statewide initiative or referendum process. The initiative process allows citizens to collect signatures to place a new statute or constitutional amendment on the ballot. The referendum process, also called a veto referendum or citizens' veto, allows citizens to collect signatures to ask voters whether to uphold or repeal an enacted law. Initiative is a process that enables citizens to propose new laws or changes to existing laws directly. It allows citizens to bypass the traditional legislative process and take matters into their own hands. Initiatives typically require a certain number of signatures from registered voters to qualify for the ballot. Once qualified, the proposed initiative is put to a vote during an election, allowing citizens to decide its fate. One of the key attributes of the initiative is its ability to empower citizens and give them a direct voice in shaping legislation. It allows individuals or interest groups to champion causes they believe in and mobilize support from the public. Initiatives often address continuous issues that may have been overlooked or ignored by elected officials, providing an avenue for citizens to express their concern and preferences. Referendum, on the other hand, is a process that allows citizens to vote directly on a specific policy question or decision made by the government. Unlike initiatives, referendums are triggered by the government itself, either at the national, regional, or local level. The government poses a question to the electorate, and citizens vote to accept or reject the proposed policy change. One of the primary attributes of a referendum is its ability to provide a direct democratic voice on significant policy decisions. It allows citizens to participate in the decision-making process and have a say in matters that directly affect their lives. Referendums are often used for constitutional amendments, major infrastructure projects, or controversial policy changes that require broad public support. Referendums can also serve as a mechanism to legitimize government decisions. By seeking the approval of the electorate, governments can ensure that their policies have popular support and are aligned with the will of the people. This can enhance the democratic legitimacy of the decision-making process and provide a sense of inclusivity and transparency. Initiatives and referendums don't just exist in government. You can also apply both concepts to non-political issues, such as those relevant to organizations, associations, unions, corporations, or schools. For example, you can submit a petition to the board of your sports club, and your buddies can decide to propose a new regulation that includes a change to the membership payment terms. When you get some backing and put it to a vote, this is how an initiative works in practice. Alternatively, if you're part of the governing body of a company and you want to get your employees to vote on a particular issue, you can initiate a referendum. Whether you follow the initiative or referendum process, it's essential to use an efficient election system like Election Buddy. This will ensure that you include all the necessary information and provide voters with secure access to their ballots so that you can maintain the integrity of elections in the same way traditional initiatives and referendums do. While initiative and referendums share the common goal of involving citizens in their legislative process, they differ in their origin and processes. Initiatives are driven by citizens or interest groups who propose new laws or changes to existing laws, while referendums are initiated by the government to seek public approval or rejection of specific policy decisions. Both initiatives and referendums require a certain level of public support to proceed. Initiatives typically require a specified number of signatures from registered voters, while referendums require the government to pose a question to the electorate. In both cases, the outcome is determined by a majority vote. Furthermore, both initiatives and referendums have the potential to shape public policy and influence the decision-making process. They provide avenues for citizens to express their preferences, raise awareness about important issues, and hold elected officials accountable. However, initiatives are more focused on proposing new laws or changes, while referendums are centered around accepting or rejecting specific policy decisions. It is important to note that the impact of initiatives and referendums can vary depending on the political context and the specific rules governing their implementation. Some countries have stricter requirements for initiatives and referendums, while others have more lenient regulations. The level of public participation and the binding nature of the outcomes can also differ. Initiative and referendum are both forms of direct democracy that allow citizens to participate in the decision-making process. However, they differ in terms of their initiation and implementation. Initiative refers to the power of citizens to propose new laws or amendments to existing ones. It allows citizens to bypass the legislative process and directly present their ideas to the electoral for approval. On the other hand, referendum is a process where citizens can vote directly on a specific law or policy that has already been proposed or pressed by the legislator. It serves as a check on the government's actions and allows citizens to have a say in important decisions. While both initiative and referendum empower citizens, initiative is more proactive in nature, enabling citizens to propose new legislation, while referendum is more reactive, allowing citizens to approve or reject existing laws. An initiative and a referendum are two forms of direct democracy that allow citizens to shape laws through voting. The key difference is that an initiative lets voters propose new legislation or constitutional amendment, while a referendum gives the public the power to approve or reject laws passed by the legislator. These processes, along with recall elections, are essential tools for public participation in government. If you've ever wondered what a recall or referendum and an initiative are, understanding their distinctions is crucial to navigating civic engagement. Here are the resources and websites that I used to create this presentation video. Thank you very much for listening and have a great rest of your day. Goldie.